Hello, Dr. Lydia Trauth here. So, Merry Christmas, and I just want to give you a little COVID update. So, we got a press release from the Arkansas Department of Health this morning, and essentially what it said was, okay, if you have monoclonal antibody, which is the medicine that we give you as an IV infusion for treatment for COVID, if you're higher risk, if you have any of that, you can continue to use it, but we're not going to get any more shipments of it. And you might go, "Ooh, that's not good. Why is that?" And the answer is that Omicron really doesn't work for Omicron, not well. And so there's only one monoclonal antibody out there that does seem to work for Omicron, but it's called, and forgive me, Sotrovimab, and we don't have any supply of that right now. So what do you do if you get COVID? You can still get monoclonal antibody till we run out, and on the chance that it's actually Delta and not Omicron, it may help. So it's probably worth still doing if you're high risk. If a lot of you are hearing about the new COVID pill, there's a couple different companies coming out with them. Pfizer has one called Paxlovid, and that's supposed to be really great, but we don't have any yet. And it's being paid for free by the federal government, which means that it's shipping out to the state, and then they are allocating it, and Arkansas is getting 480 doses for all of our population. And so when you have over 10,000 active cases, and probably over half of those are high risk, odds of getting a dose are pretty small. So it's not something that I'm going to be able to easily access for you. That being said, we're not without hope. If you test positive and we still encourage you to call the doctor, because there may be some just over-the-counter symptomatic things that we can do for you. We definitely encourage you to let us know so that we can continue to help you. I do think it's important that if you're home testing, you let us know so that we can help take care of you. And we're certainly still able to get COVID tests here and to order them through the hospital. Today's the last day before Christmas, but then things will start back up on Monday. So if you test positive, what do you need to do? First of all, you need to isolate. You must isolate for 10 days. Even if you are asymptomatic, even if you feel better after a few days, you still have to isolate for 10 days. There's a chance they might change that for vaccinated people and shorten it down a little bit. That's not official, hasn't happened yet. So at the moment, the answer is if you test positive for COVID, even on a rapid, assume that it's true and isolate for 10 days. What does your family need to do? If your family is unvaccinated, they must, if you cannot completely separate from each other, and that means you are in a bathroom or in a bedroom by yourself with your own bathroom and don't ever come out, that's isolation, okay? And if you can't do that away from your family, then they need to isolate for your 10 days, and then they start their quarantine after that, okay? And so they are advised to quarantine for 14 days after that. You can test out earlier at day 7, but you need to get an official test to do that, okay, in order to actually get a release to go back to work and everything. If you are vaccinated and you have been exposed, you need to put on your mask and mask preferably all the time. Like try to actually, like if you were independently exposed and you're going home to your family, you would put on your mask and be in your mask around your family and try to eat away from them so that they're not risking an exposure if you turn positive, you are asymptomatic. Because remember, you're contagious for 2 days before you even start showing symptoms if you show symptoms. And so you do that for 5 to 7 days. You test at day 5 through 7, preferably with a PCR test, and then you can take off your mask at that point if you're negative. Okay, so that's kind of a lot of bad news before the holidays, and I apologize. I think we were all hoping that this holiday would be much different than the last one, and in some ways it is. We have vaccines, we have boosters, but I do still encourage you to really think twice if you're going to gather in a large party. So if you're looking at a whole house full of 30, 40, 50 people, that may not be the safest option right now. It may be another year of just kind of wait or getting together in much smaller groups to try and reduce any spread or exposure. Okay, y'all have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you after Christmas.